Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Have you ever been standing at an ATM, maybe a little late at night? You slide your card in, punch in your PIN, and just for a split second you think, man, how does this metal box actually know to give me exactly 40 bucks? Not 39, not 41, but a perfect 40. It's a moment of low-key suspense, right? You hear the worry and clanking inside, and it feels like there's some kind of magic happening behind that plastic front. Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that magic. We're re-diving deep into the guts of an ATM to figure out the incredible tech that makes sure you get the right amount of cash every single time. It's way more high-tech and fascinating than you might think. It's like a miniature, super secure cash factory, and we're about to get an all-access tour. So, let's start at the beginning. You're at the machine, you need some cash. The very first step is that digital handshake between your card and the ATM. When you insert your card, the magnetic stripe or the chip on your card contains your account information in an encrypted format. The ATM reads this data and asks you for your personal identification number, your PIN. This is your secret key, the first layer of security. Once you punch in that PIN, the ATM doesn't just decide on its own if you're good for the money. It can't. It has to phone a friend, or more accurately, your bank. Using a secure encrypted network connection, the ATM sends a request package to your bank's central server. This package basically says, hey, your customer, account number such and such, wants to withdraw, let's say, $100. Are they legit? And do they have the funds? It's a digital conversation happening in milliseconds. Your bank server then does its own security check. It verifies your PIN against the one they have on file. Then, it checks your account balance. If you have enough money and the PIN is correct, the bank's server sends an authorization code back to the ATM. It's a digital thumbs up, the green light. The message is basically, yep, they're good for it. Proceed with the transaction. If your PIN is wrong or you don't have sufficient funds, the bank sends back a denial message. And the ATM politely tells you, sorry, can't do that. This whole back and forth communication happens so fast you don't even notice it. You just see authorizing, please wait. Okay, so we've got the green light from the bank. Now, the real mechanical wizardry begins. This is where the cash dispensing module, or CDM, comes into play. Inside every ATM, there are these things called cash cassettes. Think of them as removable drawers or cartridges, each one loaded with a specific denomination of bills. One cassette might be filled with only $20 bills, another with 50s, maybe another with 10s, depending on the bank and location. These cassettes are locked, secured, and carefully loaded by armored transport personnel. When the bank gives the go-ahead, the ATM's internal computer knows exactly which cassettes to use to make up the amount you requested. If you asked for $80, it knows to grab for 20s. Now for the really cool part, how does it grab just one bill at a time? This isn't just a simple slot. Inside, there's a sophisticated picker mechanism. This system often uses a combination of friction rollers and vacuum suction. Imagine a set of rubbery wheels that press down on the top bill of the stack. They spin just enough to create friction and peel that single bill away from the others and feed it into a transport path. It's a lot like the paper feeder on a printer or a copy machine, but engineered to be way more precise and reliable. Because messing up with money is a much bigger deal than a paper jam. But what if two bills are stuck together? You know, they're brand new and crisp, or maybe a little worn and clinging for dear life. The ATM has a plan for that. As soon as a bill is picked, it starts its journey down a little conveyor belt system. Along this path, it passes through a series of incredibly sensitive sensors. The first and most critical one is a thickness sensor. This is often a mechanical or optical sensor that measures the exact thickness of whatever is passing through. The machine is calibrated to know the precise thickness of a single banknote. If two bills stuck together try to pass through, the sensor immediately detects that the thickness is double what it should be. When this happens, the system doesn't just shrug and give you extra money. No way. An internal alarm is triggered, and a diverter gate along the path instantly activates. This gate flips and redirects the double-pulled bills off the main path and into a special locked container called a reject bin or a purge bin. It's like a bouncer at a club for money. Nope, you're too thick, you're out. The machine then goes back to the cassette and tries to pick another bill to replace the rejected one. This happens so fast that you, the customer, are completely unaware. The machine just keeps worry away until it has the right count of single verified bills. But thickness isn't the only thing it checks. The sensors are a whole suite of high-tech scanners. As the bill continues its journey, it might pass through optical sensors. These sensors use light to scan the bill's dimensions, its length and width to make sure it's not a torn piece of a bill or some other foreign object. Some advanced ATMs even have sensors that can check for the security features of a banknote, like the ink, watermarks, or security threads, to ensure it's not a counterfeit bill that somehow ended up in the cassette. It's a multi-point inspection for every single bill that leaves the machine. Looking at slow-motion animations of this process is wild. It's a blur of tiny laser gates and rollers working in perfect harmony. While all this scanning and verifying is happening, the ATM is also counting. Every time a bill successfully passes the sensor checks, it trips a counter sensor. It's like a digital tally mark. 1, 2, 3, 4. The machine's computer keeps a running total. If you requested $80.20, it's waiting for that counter to hit 4. It won't unstop the process until the count of accepted bills perfectly matches the number it needs to fulfill your request. Historically, this process wasn't always so flawless. Early cash dispensers from the late 60s and 70s were much more primitive. They were clunky mechanical beasts that were far more prone to errors like jamming or But decades of innovation, especially in sensor technology and computing, have made modern ATMs incredibly reliable. The chances of a machine giving you the wrong amount of cash today are astronomically low, thanks to these redundant, self-correcting systems. So, the ATM has picked the bills, verified each one is single and legit, and counted them to match your request. What's next? It can't just spit them out in a messy pile. The final step is presentation. All the counted bills are collected and aligned in a device called a stacker. This mechanism neatly straightens the bills into a tidy, even bundle. Once the stack is perfectly aligned, a pusher plate or another set of rollers gently pushes the entire bundle out through the cash slot for you to take. That satisfying moment when the cash smoothly emerges from the machine. That's the end of a very complex, very fast, and very precise mechanical ballet. And the ATM isn't done yet. After you take your cash, it finalizes the transaction. It sends a confirmation message back to your bank's server saying, "Mission accomplished. The $100 has been dispensed." Your bank then officially debits the amount from your account. The ATM also logs every single detail of the transaction: the time, the amount, the card number, and which cassettes the bills came from. This detailed logging is crucial for maintenance, accounting, and resolving any potential disputes later on. So, next time you're at an ATM, take a moment and listen closely. That whirry and whizzing sound isn't just random noise. It's the sound of precision engineering in action. It's the friction rollers picking a single bill. It's the tiny motors driving the conveyor belts. It's the sensors scanning and counting at incredible speeds. It's the sound of a machine working overtime to make sure your $80 is exactly $80. It's a beautiful symphony of technology that we take for granted every day. It's pretty awesome when you think about it. Thanks so much for hanging out and exploring the inner world of the ATM with me today. If you found this as cool as I did, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the tech that runs our world. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else you've always been curious about. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.